I got you muted. You can go hot if you need to. I'll bring you back on in a second. What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Welcome to the show. Leroy and Matt are in the house. Good to have you here. We've got a good show for you tonight. 1 minute until we go into the 3-minute spiel, so I will be quick. Sheriff Deputies, terrifying trend going on in Harris County in Texas. We're going to talk about that. JD Vance may be the real deal, and not talking about what you think. Banning men and women's sports. Is it segregation? Come on. Congressman Tim Burchett with a real moment. He may delete this video. Probably going to get him in some trouble, but we're going to go ahead and show you. And honestly, a lot of admirable qualities about this video. Easy does it on Hillary, says the FBI. We'll talk about that. Man's best friend and Kristi Noem goes badass mode in El Salvador. Folks, we need a ton of shares tonight on Twitter, on Facebook, on Rumble, everywhere you can. We have got to get the numbers up. We have got to push and help the show. If you could do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe. It's going to be a good one tonight. It always is with Leroy. Leroy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. How's it going?
Good, buddy. Got a big night tomorrow. We've got Barry Morgenstein on Friday night. See ya in 3 minutes.
Hi, Matthew. It's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the Dumb Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. You've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
So, personal goal, hit 250 on the bench tonight. Was talking to Leroy about that. That's a huge goal for me. There's only like, oh yeah, are you muted? Hold on.
I don't know. I don't think so.
No. Oh, you were just doing the visuals of.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty big thing because it's like 2% of the population can do their own body weight or higher on bench. So it's, that's a pretty cool thing. So it's something I've never hit before because I never was a big lifter, and I always, push ups, sit ups, and run a shit ton, but never really cared about lifting. But it's a good personal goal, and felt really good. And the thing is, I knocked it out 4 times, so it's not bad. So I haven't even reached. I don't know what I can do as a one-off. You would think if you can do 250, you probably do 275, 300 one time. I got to try it, but it's amazing. So anyway, it felt really good. It's not bragging. I'm just kind of stoked. I know there's people who can do a lot more.
When you hit a goal like that, you need to throw that out there so that people know, right, that goals are achievable.
Sure.
Right. And that is something that puts your mind in a very good place. I like that. Good on you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter whether, when you have a 3-level fusion and separate your shoulder and bone reconstruction. I mean, you doctor says you'll never, jump out of a plane or do a squat or get on a jet ski ever again. Okay, I got 2 out of 3 and I still want to jump out of a plane again. Joseph Hillstrom says, Matt, how does Facebook throttle your show? What restrictions do they do? It's a really good point. So let me explain it to you. They don't broadcast my show live to new viewers, and you have to interact with the show at a certain level in order to get a notification. Now, there is one place you can go, which is really simple, and get notifications, and they can't stop us. But they throttle this too. So here's an example. 237,000 followers we're at now. And this link right here is supposed to be an open group for everybody. And I can post to this group once or twice a day and notify you in real time when I'm coming on Facebook. See that? At facebook.com messages. You go to the front of the page and it's called The Dumb Show Channel. And it's experimental, and we got approved for it, but I have never been above 900 members, ever. And the moment I get close, it drops 40 down, and it's very much like Twitter. Twitter does the same thing. I haven't gained new followers in 6 months. 6 months. I lose 5 a day, and then it goes up 5. Then I lose 5, and then it goes, go watch it. If you don't need me to tell you, go watch it. Go and take a screenshot every day of my followers on Twitter and watch what happens. We'll have 500 people who will watch the show and we don't gain 1 follow. So there is something that has taken place that I don't understand, but the algorithm doesn't put us out there. And it's never been fixed. We don't have stars on live, which it just doesn't make any sense. They don't run commercials on our lives. So once this goes and we stop it, you'll get recorded commercials because all my stuff gets recorded commercials. but no live commercials. Stacy Snow donated 1080. Thank you, Stacy. So
Thank you, Stacy.
that's how they do it. And they just don't show it. And we've broken the algorithm a couple of times where we punch through. But the fact that we have 67 people on right now, it's atrocious. Like, it's absolutely, on Facebook, we were pushing 200, 250 a few weeks ago. So it is just, I don't know, man. It's bullshit. And we know
There's something askew. Yeah.
everyone knows we've got 237,000. Let's just assume that 0.01% of 237,000, okay? Where 99.9% of the people hate my guts, then we would still have 200, 300 people on from Facebook, right? So it's really hard to fathom that 99.9% of the people who engage with my channel. And by the way, 72% of my followers engage with the Don't Unfriend Me show every single day. 72% of those 237,000. So these are active users.
Right.
And that number surpasses Shapiro. That number surpasses Crowder. It surpasses Freitas. I have Megyn Kelly. I have one of the highest interactions in organic traffics on Facebook out of anybody. You guys see it? I post a meme and then bam, it just goes and blows up. 72% of my viewers are active, but they don't watch the live show. How is that possible? So the only reason that we hear is they don't know. So the only way for you to know is to put it in your kavasa that 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday, we're live. And I haven't missed a day in almost 8 months. Like, we are always live.
That's fair.
So anyway, that's pretty much it. So help us, donate, go see us, share us, all that other stuff. But everybody needs to help. You want to see it grow. You have to share the show. And Twitter right now was just shared, and now our numbers are going up. And now we're up to 16 on Twitter, and now we're up to 51 on Facebook. So that's the way. All right. We're going to get right into it. We got a lot to cover. Leroy, did you have anything you wanted to share before we got to rock and roll?
No. You know what? This is just part of the process, right? Every day when we come on here, we constantly beg to, hey, like, share, and subscribe, right? The more the word gets out there, the more we're going to be interfacing on other platforms like YouTube and Twitter or X, whatever the hell. And the more that happens, then hopefully, right, at some point, we won't have to have that daily goal up there anymore. Like, at some point, I would think that, and Matt and I, we haven't discussed this. We rarely kind of cover this level of detail prior to the show, but I mean, at some point, we think that should probably go away, right? Like,
Right.
Not now, because we need it in order to keep the lights on. But at some point, the idea is to get so big, right, that there will be some level of endorsements coming in. People will be asking either myself or Matt to do voiceover work. Then it becomes a sustainable thing. But until we get to that point.
Yeah, and donations will always be accepted, but not necessary. And that's never going to change. Like, donations aren't necessary.
Right.
They're appreciated, and they help keep the lights on. But I don't know if I'm going to have a goal. But I always want to acknowledge people who donate. It's important to me. So we're probably the best show at that. I see a lot of shows that don't even acknowledge the people who donate. We don't do that. We don't believe in that. You give your hard-earned money, we're gonna show you some love. You know what I mean? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a lot to do, buddy. Let's get cooking. I want to have a chance to. I said we weren't going to talk about the Signals app anymore, but we're going to give it 10 minutes, and I need a hard stop. I really do. So we're going to put an A block on this. We're going to get rid of the A block, and we're just going to put a timer on it because I've spent way too much time, and I already told people we weren't going to do this again, but I do have some information that I want to get to you, and it's important. So let's put a 10-minute timer on it. It's in the lower right-hand corner if you want to go ahead and share. Utah says, I wish I could donate, but can't. That's enough. You can share, you can like, you subscribe. I don't want anyone to give us money when you can't afford it. Charity, don't even think about it. I want you guys not to worry about that. Just rock and roll and let's crush this, okay? There's another thing is that we may change the hours of the show, right? We may push it a little bit later, possibly. I don't know, because we are missing the West Coast. And let's face it, it's 4:00. And this is a good time though. And we've seen that we can crush during these hours. Okay. And we've done it. So we're working the problem. Everyone hang in. Okay. All right. Enough. Don't need anyone to feel bad because we're doing well. I was talking to my mother-in-law. She's here. And I was telling her, I'm like, we're doing well. We're doing fine. There was a place where we were struggling to figure out if we were going to be able to stay in Virginia. Now we're not in that spot anymore. You guys, we hit that 300 every night. This is a good spot for us. So what we could use more than anything is that whoever's going to donate fast, donate often, get it in here. Let's get it done. And let's not talk about it anymore. That's what I want. I want that more than anything. All right, let's rock and roll. All right. So we had a chance to talk about this Signals app, but you and I were just breaking it. Like we literally broke the Signals app story. And it was coming out on the internet and we started expanding on it. So let's revisit. Okay. And I've spent a lot of time on breaking this down. So let's make this happen. Give me your 1 minute since you've had a chance to play with it and what your thoughts are.
So for my 1 minute on the Signals app, this is what I would say. Is that it does come preloaded standard on government phones, right? And if interagencies are, encouraged to use it, but keep classified material off of it, then, hey, so be it. Now, understand that if we hear that, hey, the rule is set from the government that no classified data is supposed to go on there, and then somebody does in fact put classified information on there, there should be some sort of repercussion. But here's the thing, kind of thing happens all the time. More than anybody, it should be uncomfortable. But it happens all the time, and it's one of those things where people largely just get a slap on the wrist. Oh, there was an incident of spillage. Oh, somebody brought a cell phone into the skiff, right? Somebody gets their hand slapped and then they move on, right? And if this is the equivalent of that, then so be it. Let the hand be slapped and let's just move on with it. I say that to say this, that if we continue to see this messaging from the left where, oh, we need to hang that person out to dry. No, they need to fire Pete Hegseth and we're going to show up at the White House steps with flaming pitchforks. No, you're in the wrong now because you didn't do that to Hillary Clinton. And now the messaging is inconsistent. You either do want to, hold on to classified information, just not next to your Corvette, or you don't. That's my 1 minute.
I think it's astute. People are saying, Matt, you used to do, love you, Matt, working and listening. Thank you, Megan. We love you too. Matt used to do a short monologue during the day. I really like those. Were they not helping? Facebook stopped pushing them, but you know what? I'm going to start doing them again. Because my writing, in my opinion, has gone to the next level. And now that
your stories are awesome. For anybody who goes to the Don't Unfriend Me show, the dumb show, the site that Matt has, and actually goes through the news, they are so well written.
Yeah, and it's not, I'm not trying to toot the horn, but now that I've put 500,000 words on paper this year, I think my writing is getting there. So I think I will do maybe the news articles and just do a recording of them. I don't know how I want to do it. I want to relax. I want to do it maybe on my deck or maybe outside, or we'll figure it out. But thank you for bringing that up, Brian. And folks, anyone who's listening to all these questions, people are, good about giving feedback, and we always appreciate it. The next thing, Carrie says, your writing is the best of the best. Thank you, Carrie. Also, do we get to meet Olivia's mom? Well, I just asked her, and she's willing to come on, but she's like, I don't have my face on. I can't come on. So I think we could get her tomorrow, but it's going to be a busy night tomorrow. So I really would love if she would just come on now. But she might. She might. And what she doesn't understand is that she looks good no matter what. So you know what? Go put some lipstick on and get your butt on here. All right. So let's I appreciate your perspective. Now I understand where you're from. I want to share something, and I want to make sure people understand. When I share something with you, it's not to throw people under the bus, okay? I'm not throwing Mike Waltz under the bus. I respect Mike Waltz. I love the fact that he is Special Forces. I love the fact that he served our country. But I have to report the news, and I got this at a very early time, and I'm not disclosing, and this isn't a dox. None of this information is private. This is public. And these friends lists from his Venmo account, I'm going to scroll it very, very fast because I don't want to ever be accused of doxing. But this is his friends list, and I want to show you that I have it. And this is the Venmo friend list, and it's on the internet. I had it earlier this morning. I showed it to Carrie, and she's like, "Do you ever sleep?" And no, it's the answer to that. But I want to give you my opinion. I've scrubbed the friends list, and I've done some research. Okay. And I appreciate all the people saying some nice things right now. I appreciate you. Seriously. I'm reading all the nice comments, and it means the world, except for Thomas says most of Matt's stuff is a good read. I don't know what that means. I must have said some shitty shit about Canada. So here are the names that I found that give me the most pause. The first one, Jeff Periano, Jeffrey Spector, Jennifer Fluitt Huber, Jennifer Griffin. Now as Intel guys, as Leroy and I are, this is a very interesting name to us because this lady is very prominent in the intelligence community. She was a White House correspondence reporter. She's been was on Fox News, and Jennifer, okay. That's how you know. But we know her name. I know her name because, well, I don't need to tell you how I know her name, but the intel community knows her because she's very closely tied with the alphabet agencies, and she's a very well-respected person who holds onto her sources. And then there's Jennifer McCarthy. So all of these are reporters. These are the reporters that are on his list. So it immediately sends up a red flag to me that this guy's got reporters. But I also want to see if you guys can figure out what I see when it comes to who was JG supposed to be. Now, is it Jeffrey Goldberg? Right. In his folder of reporters? Probably. But did he mean to send it to JG, who is a very trusted reporter, and bring her into the chat? Possibly. Now, I gave this some thought.
We kind of hinted at that the other night. Right. In other words, it's pretty common for an iPhone user when you're merging your contacts or when you're in a group text type setting and you go to save someone and maybe you fat finger it, and instead of saying mom, you save it as somebody else. And so it's very conceivable that the guy from the Atlantic, Jeff Goldstein, was brought in.
Did I say Goldberg?
Was it? I don't know. That he was brought in error, right? And so I wouldn't be too torqued off at that, right?
Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to offer going through the cabinet, and I went through the cabinet last night, and then what I decided to do is redouble my efforts, okay? And really look at Trump's cabinet picks, and I found somebody that makes complete sense, and I think this is the person who is supposed to be added. Now, we know that the signals app debacle was from a Atlantic reporter. We know this. We also know that there is some culpability on his part that we've talked about that is fairly extensive, right? And the fact is that any troop movement, whatever, strike is TSSCI until it is approved to release that information, 100%. So they had already notified governments. They had notified also even people in the area who were not considered friendly. A lot of different people were notified. And it is at the discretion of SecDef to disclose information, even if classified, to the cabinet, because that's his job, is to communicate those things.
Exactly.
However, whether Signals is the best choice of programs to do that is neither here nor there. The question is, you have a guy on the other end who is intercepting this information by mistake, who understands as a reporter what classified information, how you do and do not. And Goldberg knew what to do with this information, which is to cease and desist and notify, and should have contacted Department of Homeland Security, FBI, and
Exactly.
and formulated some sort of context. Now, the other thing that I'll tell you about is essentially it is a notification of intent to distribute. And you are responsible as an intelligence professional, whether you're on the SEAL teams or whether you're intel or whether you're a reporter, to give the United States government a chance to scrub what you're going to talk about and give them a chance to review it before you do it, which removes culpability for things like the Espionage Act or treason or breaking your security agreement. So did he disclose this and get authorization for distribution? And if he didn't, then he can be held culpable for under the Foreign Espionage Act, which is, I think, 1500.1, if you want to look it up. So take a look at it. So,
espionage.
Or 5000.1, not 15. I think it's 5000.1. If my math, it could be wrong. So here is a breakdown. So the Espionage Act is the following. Violators could face a fine up to $10,000 or up to 10 years in prison or both. And you have to ask yourself the question is, did the reporter suspect or know that the information that was being disclosed was confidential, was secret, was TSSCI or CUI material? And he did disclose that he did know that. He absolutely said that. So Leroy's looking up the dot whatever to find out the actual code under the Espionage Act. What did you find out? Because I already did it, but you can do it again.
Well, I actually just went into the Espionage Act, said that it was enacted in 1917. Well, when you go on to the Office of Law and Revision Council of the United States Code, it doesn't come up immediately. So I think you got to do a little more digging, or I would have to.
It's like I had it earlier and I searched for it. It's 18793, 18 U.S. Code 793. But there is another code that falls under with sharing and distributing with intent without seeking permission.
18793?
Yeah, 18793. So section 793. So, and you can read it. But 5000.1, I'll also tell you what that is and what that falls under. But either way, the reporter most assuredly is culpable if there is top secret information. So here's the thing. The post that I made today sums this up fairly nicely. And here is the post that you can see. And then I want Leroy to comment too. But if we go over to the Don't Unfriend Me show over on Facebook, it's also on Twitter. I simply said the following, and here it is. Leroy, it's for you. It's 5200.1. I'm getting old. Look at me. I'm so old. If Goldberg honestly believed he was in a TS-SCI chat, he should have left immediately. DOD Manual 5200.TAC-01 makes that crystal clear. Every reporter knows the rules, but he didn't leave. He stayed, watched, and took screenshots. That's not journalism. It's spying. So which is it? If it really was TS/SCI, then he committed espionage. If it wasn't, then he's lying. If it wasn't, then he's lying to smear Trump. Either way, he's exposed. See you at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. So my point is, no matter what, he's exposed. Now, Leroy, you comment on that, and then I want to show you who I think JG was supposed to be and who Mike Waltz wanted to put in.
Well, I think Matt raises, I mean, we had talked about this the other night on the show, which is that if you kind of hang around in the background of a chat room when you're pretty anonymous and nobody really knows who you are, and you're coming at this from the perspective of, well, I'm a reporter, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And then when a juicy nugget comes across in chat, I'm going to run with it. Okay, fine, cool. But if you're in a room that has the potential or the risk, right, to see classified information, you're supposed to immediately notify somebody about that.
That's right.
Because that's not a playing matter. That is like jail time if taken to its most extreme extent.
Yeah.
That is one of those situations that will land your butt in prison for some amount of time.
Every single person who is a reporter knows this. And when I got my press credentials, I was made aware of this, even though I already knew it because of intel and the military. Now, this picture should interest people. So I went through all of Trump's nominees, and I missed this the first pass, but I was looking for who would be a JG that, and you're going to love this, guys, because I think I'm right. Who would be JG that Walz would accidentally add the other JG, which is someone who was in his phone, most assuredly, which is Jeffrey Goldberg, because I guarantee Jennifer Garnett, he didn't mean to put her in. He didn't want to add a reporter. Okay. And this picture should strike everybody as, oh my God, this is it. And let me tell you why. November 2024, Trump announced his intent to nominate this gentleman. And he is the United States Trade Representative.
Aha.
And the shipping lanes were the reason why to go through and stop the Houthis, because it was impacting trade in Europe. And Jameson Greer, JG, would absolutely be someone who you would include on this text string to keep updated on what was going on, so he could talk to the Yemenis government in the east side of Yemen and notify them that the trade routes were free and clear, and get a hold of NTC and let them know that the trade routes are clear, and that for a limited period of time that we've got a green light to go ahead and go up through the Red Sea and the Suez. So in my opinion, this is the person that either the intern or, in my opinion, that Waltz invited.
That's who the intended person was. Yeah, I would agree.
So a lot of people are saying Alex Wong. This is Laura Loomer who said this. And Laura Loomer is not the most consistent human being in the world. So I am not going to take what Laura Loomer says. However, I've reviewed her notes, and it's a very beautiful tapestry of woven webs and deceit and Communist China Party and Alex Wong and his wife who put J6ers in jail and all. I've read it. It's more than likely that Alex Wong did build the group and made the mistake of who JG was. It happens. I don't believe that Alex Wong did it with malicious intent. This guy has been in the intel community for a long time. They were actually going to make him a deputy of national intelligence. He didn't get it. He has worked for multiple administrations, and there's nothing that would lead me to believe that he did this from malicious intent. And until we do, I'm not going to smear a good man's name.
Right.
So and I'm the only one saying this. Good luck. Anyone saying this anywhere else? Let me know. Because people don't do the research. But I believe that Jameson is our Jameson Greer is the person they intended to loop in on this communique, and they made a mistake. So something to think about. Some breaking news I wanted to talk about. We're at 20 minutes, so we're gonna wave off this topic. I don't want to keep going into it, but I thought I at least owed you that segment, because I think it helps understand that this whole nefarious CCP and all this stuff is Laura Loomer is very good at selling her story, and she's very good at pontificating and pumping herself up. I'm not a fan. I figured I would just give you my best estimated guess on who they were trying to add to the string.
No, and I would agree with you. I think that that's completely fair. And again, I mean, it sounded like a simple mistake.
And the odds of having a JG have the same initials who is actually responsible for international trade and would directly want to know that the Houthi shipping lanes were no longer under threat is definitely Jameson Greer.
Exactly.
Right? And the fact that he's JG, these are what we call in the intel community, when you're doing asset collection and intelligence collection, as an orgy of evidence. And it doesn't happen very often. So when you get it, you're a little suspect. But then when you're on a lead, you have to disassociate yourself from what you want to confirm versus what the reality is. So I'm like, okay, I got this guy's name. Now I got to make it stick. And I'm like, no, stop. Freeze. Don't make it stick. Keep digging on who he is. Okay, 2024, he's a new guy. He wouldn't have already had a profile on Signals. He probably just got his phone. They're starting inviting people. Okay, now what's his job? Holy shit, he's trade. Okay, does he oversee the Red Sea? Does he oversee the Suez? Okay, he does. Is he at a high enough level in the administration to be looped in on this? Yes, he is. Okay, now I have got 5 out of 5 on my line of questioning without walking myself into selling myself into a story.
Right.
You know what
Right. Like there's enough reason for him to have been involved with that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right? That all of the head politicians would want that person to know. Right. His initials also happen to match.
Right.
JG. Yeah.
And he's on that Venmo list. So that's where, so understand that Venmo list I flashed to you, his name is there. So now you know and the Venmo list is generated from his contacts, folks. So what you do is you give Venmo permission to search your contacts, and then anyone who has a Venmo account is added to your friends list. That's how you know he was in his phone. But Goldstein wasn't on the list, or Goldberg. So now you also know that he's scrubbed Goldberg.
Right.
Because Goldberg got added somehow. So that's what it is. And listen, we can only do this so many times as a channel before somebody notices and goes, holy shit, these guys are good at what they do. We did this with the Baltimore Bridge. We've done this with Ukraine. We've done this with the elections. We've done this with the Nashville, Tennessee bomber. We've done it with school shootings. We've broken down videos on so many different things. This is what we do, okay? And we're good at it. So somebody come and pick us up so we can rock and roll. Good enough for you to move on, Governor?
I'm good. I am good. I think it's time. V. Robinson needed $100, and it says, dummies with short hair are the best.
Victoria is the one who I said all men should think that short-haired women, well, all women should have long hair, and she got mad at me, and she had every right to go. So we kind of went round and round. We had a long conversation. It was great. She's a good woman. So enough of that. That was just our highlight. Let's get into some of the bigger stuff. Sheriff deputies, a terrifying trend. We love Texas. My wife and I love Texas. It is one of our favorite places in the world. It is not the best climate. It is hot. It is muggy, and the mosquitoes all smoke Marlboro Reds and have tattoos. But
crowd right there, folks.
Yeah, but everyone is so very kind and so very nice. This, excuse me, is a very, very troubling video, and I want to apologize to any of the family members or any friends who might be watching or anyone who knew these sheriff's deputies. Is the red X's, in my opinion, are very tasteless, and ABC 13 should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. That is not how you honor the fallen. I don't like it. It bothers me. But this is the clip, and I don't edit clips. So let's go ahead and watch this and take a listen. Tell me what you think, and we'll listen to this and then have some commentary.
Also today, friends and family said goodbye to veteran Harris County Deputy Christina Kohler. Her death last week was ruled a suicide. Kohler is one of 4 current or former Harris County deputies who've taken their own lives in just the last 6 weeks. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live tonight, and this is leading to important conversations about the need for support, Jessica.
Yeah, Eric, the department has a behavior.
I want to apologize. It looks like whoever did this video added those pictures, so I want to apologize to ABC 13. I want to apologize immediately. They did not do that, obviously. I did watch the video, but it was from a different channel. This is the only full clip I had. So my apologies to ABC 13. I didn't think they were this tasteless, and they obviously weren't. Whoever made the video, you're a POS.
Behavioral health division that has.
If everyone could just, I can fix this.
Made great strides since it was established in 2020 and has led the way, its director says, among law enforcement agencies. But these recent deaths are raising serious concerns for the deputies organization. The question is, what more should they be doing?
It caught a lot of us by surprise.
Harris County Sheriff's Deputy Christina Kohler left home last week, and
Judy Gurley said it best. Don't worry about it, Matt. We'll just see which Fox reporter comes up with it tomorrow. Fox is going to. Somebody watches this show, watches Fox. And then somebody said, wonder where's Jen McCarver? That's a great point. I don't know where Jen McCarver is. I hate when we lose great people. Can we find out where Jen McCarver is?
it was never seen again. Houston police issuing this alert, the 37-year-old found on the 13th. She had taken her own life. 3 days later, Maria Vasquez, who left the department in December, died by apparent suicide. William Bozeman, also a former deputy, died earlier this week. Tragic news.
One is too many. 2, 3 it's definitely devastating.
That Jose Lopez is helping his friends and colleagues try to process.
It hits very close to home, and it's a reminder to us of how fragile life is. It's also a reminder that we do need to look out for each other. We do need to take care of each other.
Lopez is the president of the Harris County Deputies Organization, but he knew 2 of the late deputies personally.
I knew him for over 20 years.
In just 6 weeks' time, 4 current and former deputies have taken their own lives. Psychologist Thomas McNeese is the director of the department's Behavioral Health Division.
These last few weeks have been difficult for our staff and for the sheriff's office as a whole.
He says he and his division work to provide resources to both former and current employees who are struggling. They embed to help people feel more comfortable.
This profession, unfortunately, takes a toll on people, and over time, the longer they're in it, the more of a toll that it takes, and it changes people.
First responders historically have a high rate of suicide.
It's a combination of things like what they see on the job and then what the job entails.
While the department has been focused on mental health, often leading the way, Lopez says these last few weeks have raised questions.
We can't help to ask the question of, is that enough? Do we need to do something different? What else can we do?
You know what? That guy just gives me creeper vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I don't know, because I'm going to show you something. And Leroy, I want to get your thoughts on this. But
and as they work to support those grieving, McNeese with this message to anyone who might be in crisis.
Reaching out, getting some help, doing something to be able to not stay stuck where you're at is really important.
Jessica Willie, ABC 13.
All right. So ABC 13, I apologize once again for jumping your caca without verifying. It happens to the best of us, and I want to apologize. But what I don't want to apologize for is the following math. Leroy, are you ready?
Yeah.
Average U.S. law enforcement suicide rate. Take the rate of suicide among law enforcement officers is about 17 per 100,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's per year.
Oof.
Then you take 17 per 100,000 per year. That's 17 divided by 52 is 0.33 per 100,000 per week. Okay.
So that's per week, right?
Yep. Good. Then in 2 weeks, 0.33 times 2 would be 0.66 per 100,000. Now we have the 2-week time frame. That is the probability of suicide per 100,000 deputies in 2 weeks is a 0.66% chance, but it doesn't stop there. So now what you have to do is scale to the real department, right? You got to scale to the department's numbers. And the Harris County Sheriff's Office only has 4,600 employees, and they're deputies. So let's just estimate that 3,000 are sworn deputies, and those most likely to be included in suicide data reporting, right? Because they're not sheriffs, they're deputies.
I'm with you.
With the 300,000 or with the 3,000 deputies, take 0.66 per 100,000 times 3,000 is 0.0198 expected suicide in 2 weeks is the chance. 0.0198 is the expected suicides in 2 weeks. Roughly 1 in 50 chance of one suicide in 2 weeks. Just one. Now, you got to take the probability of 4 suicides now, because now you've got 1 suicide, which is 1 in 50. Now you got to get the probability of 4 suicides within a 2-week period. So the math is this, and we're doing some serious freaking chaos theory here. Assuming this is a process you can model, which we think it is, over 2 weeks, you would have A equals 0.0198 expected suicides, and the probability of 4 suicides in 2 weeks. So you would P bracketed K semicolon A equals A K E. I don't even know this because I don't know any of this. This is advanced geometry and trig that I don't understand. But I'm telling you the equation of how difficult this is to do. I'm trying to explain it to you. Star E up parentheses minus A parentheses slash K exclamation. You plug in K equals 4 and A equals 0.0198. That would be P bracketed 4 over 0.0198 equals 0.01198 over 4 times E, and then a bunch of other stuff. And what it comes down to is here is the probability. It is roughly 1 in 159 million chance of this happening randomly. That's a chance of 0.0000000000000000063 probability. If an investigation isn't opened up immediately by IAD, the FBI, and anyone else, because the chances of this are so fractionally, it's impossible.
Right. So you're, and I understand what you're saying is that try to leave if we leave the assumptions out of it, right?
Sure.
And we just acknowledge the sheer numbers probability of this happening. I mean, that should be enough to raise an eyebrow. So then everyone's gear should start going, okay, well, why is this happening then? What is going on in there? Are officers being snuffed out in their own homes and then made it look look to seem as if they had, committed suicide, or is something, are they really committing suicide and it's just at this astronomical rate? Like, what is going, because that's when you have to figure out, all right, we have this fact. Now we're trying to figure out why, what is going on.
Right. The variable that can't be computed with a algebraic equation. And I'm not making any accusations. I'm saying like Leroy said, the sheer improbability, it forces you to ask the question and open an investigation just based on that, because the facts don't add up. The presumption is that the suicides had no nefarious undertakings assigned to them other than someone taking their own life. And if the assertion is that these were all suicides, we can prove that with data and numbers that the probability of that is essentially 0. So therefore, the official story must be challenged, because that is what a conspiracy is. The official story is saying one thing, and we have factual numerical data saying that it's not. So therefore, it's a conspiracy, because the actual story being portrayed is not true. Same thing with Kennedy. We know it wasn't 3 bullets. It's impossible to do that shooting with 3 bullets. Therefore, when the Warren Commission says it was only 3 bullets, there is a conspiracy. That is by definition what a conspiracy is, right?
Right.
Is it a department thing? Is it a cartel thing? Is it an embezzlement thing? Is it somebody cleaning up a mess? I just want to know. Is Harris County blue? All major large counties in Texas are blue. Houston, you can go to San Antonio, you can go to Dallas, you can go to Austin, you can go to Houston. All of them are blue. But Harris County Sheriff is not someone I appreciate very much. So this is something that we will keep you abreast of. We will continue to keep this in our purview, because I think it's important to find out, because I will tell you what, if there's already been 4 suicides, if there's a 5th, then the proverbial caca better hit the fan. Like, IAD need to be checked. And I will just tell you from doing interrogation, the guy that was talking, I would start with him, because I don't know if he's done anything bad, but a lot of it could be just pressure at work, could be disparaging employees, harassing employees, making them work extended hours, berating them, just wearing them down. A bad boss can cause a lot of bad things to happen to their employees. And there's something that guy seems to be.
Is that right with you?
Yeah, it just doesn't sit right with me. My flag went up. The moment he started talking, I was like, oh, dude, no. I don't like this guy. So do with it as you want. I'm not accusing him.
You're supposed to be able to trust those little intuitions, so that when those little hairs on the back of your neck stand up, you're supposed to trust those,
Yeah, I do. I trust my gut, but I trust but verify, right? So am I saying that he did anything from a nefarious means? No, but he could just be an incredibly bad boss. He's got a guilty conscience on something. He just seems to be hiding something when I'm watching him, his mannerisms, his eye, his sweat on his brow, rapid breathing. It just screamed, this guy just seems weird. All right, let's move on from there. Quick commercial. These are audio commercials. We'll be back in exactly 60 seconds.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time. And we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or Mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
We do. And we can't thank you enough. If you are interested in donating to the show, go to thedumbshow.com/donate. We've set up an entire page for you. I also wanted to share one other thing really quick, something that we're happy with. A lot of people have asked us, hey, man, if I have another podcast that wants to, interact with you or whatever. Well, first of all, we know what it feels like to be overlooked by the big, podcasters, the top 150 in the country. So a lot of people will tell you, man, they're like, wow, the Don't Unfriend Me Show has a wicked looking website. The Don't Unfriend Me Show has a great looking show. We don't screw around. And people go, God, they must be bankrolled by somebody. We're not. It's me. And it's the sweat blood of Leroy, Amy, and Olivia and myself putting this together. But if you are interested, you can come over to contact now. And yes, you can contact us by email. I answer every message. There's a lot of people who will tell you I talk to them as much as I can. But if you click contact, it'll actually take you to a contact page now, where you can actually find our commitments, some of our endorsement videos. You can find our advertising rates and news and platform viewership. So the inside numbers, if you want to sponsor us, or if you want to get on the show and start doing some advertising, these numbers are for you. We have a full press kit that you can come in here and download this press kit. And it's got all of our color patterns. It's got everything top to bottom. But you can come in here and you can get banners if you want. Get all of our banners. You can get
those.
Yeah, you go ahead and get headshots of the team and use those to help. And this is everybody. Everyone has access to this, all viewers. And I wanted to make sure you guys ask how you can help. This is how you can help. You can come in here and get our logos. All logos right here for you to download. Everything you could possibly want. And this press kit is available. Another cool thing is you can get videos, endorsements, our call signs, the intros to the show. Everything's right here for you to download. So at any time you want to go ahead and share the show or just be a part of it, this is a great way to do it. And then last but not least, this is the logo color chart, which shows all the colors of our logos and our officially licensed and patented stuff. So it's all right there for you. We just got done building this, and we hope you appreciate it. Just a little bit of work, but you've asked.
That is a gorgeous website too. And I know you're the one that designed it, so I'm only preaching to the choir. But for anybody who is looking for news, anybody who's looking for, hey, what was this person's background? What's Amy's background? What was Matt's background? All of that is listed on there. So it's a really great place to kind of peruse and really get to know us, as well as you'll see some pretty amazing photos that were recently done by Barry Morgenstein, who was amazing. He'll be on the show tomorrow. Please don't miss that show. That's going to be a good one.
Hey, Barry, we had a chance to kind of talk to Barry and express our opinions, and he is a fireball. We love him. So I want to do a quick video of Caitlin Collins, who is on Caitlin Collins. She's CNN, and this is Doug Collins, no relation. And Doug is the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, and the way he dismantles her. Bobby says, do you have bumper stickers? We do have stickers on the show. You just go to the show and type in stickers, Bobby. And Bobby, you don't need to pay for stickers. We are getting 8x10s. Bobby, your shirts came in the 8x10s. We're going to start getting them autographed and shipping them out as well. I want you to watch this exchange, Leroy, and then I just want to get your opinion. I already know what my opinion is. It's probably going to be yours, but this is so beautifully done. This is the way. I love this because this is the way that I would talk to these people, the exact same way. Hi, Judy. Good to see you.
A mistake was made here, though, to have this conversation, to add a reporter, and to have it on an unsupported, classified group setting.
Caitlin, as I've just told you, I've just answered the question. I wasn't a part of it, and I'm not going to speculate more than what the president's already talked about, and those who've been involved have talked about. But we'd love to talk about the veterans.
Yeah, and I do have questions about the veterans, but given what we saw with the group chat and how this was used, you are a member of the cabinet. You obviously know these other members, several of them who were in there. Is this typical for the cabinet to have conversations over Signal? Is this something that you use?
Well, Caitlin, since you undoubtedly do not want to talk about the VA, I have a question as VA Secretary. As cabinet, I want to ask you, because I've been curious about this, because my job is to take
this is when somebody's career dissipation light starts blinking, because Caitlin Collins is about to get right, whether she likes it or not, she's about to get it. And Doug is not somebody you mess with. I love this guy. I think he's one of the old salts that I'm a big fan. So here it is.
Take care of veterans. And I would like to know why CNN is hostile to veterans, especially one in Florida, where you just had a $5 million defamation suit taking offense at a veteran who was trying to help people. In fact, one of your employees actually said, we're going to nail him. I have a question for you, Caitlin. Is that employee still employed? Are you really concerned about veterans? So if we don't want to talk about veterans now, you want to talk about everything else, I'd like to hear from CNN as the veteran cabinet secretary, why CNN seems to have a problem with veterans.
Well, Mr. Secretary, respectfully, my question was about whether or not you as a member of the cabinet use this. And respectfully, I'm conducting the investigation. And I do have a lot of questions for you on Veterans Affairs, but I don't think it would be unwarranted to ask
what you want to do is talk about the subject I've already answered. And if you want to continue this like this, that's fine. But there are VA employees who are working very hard. There are veterans who get their care from the VA and they get their benefits from the VA. And it does me no good to speculate on something that I've already asked and answered. So I've asked and answered your question. Why don't you answer mine? Are you still, is this person still employed who said they were going to nail one of my veterans? Who you had to do a $5 million award from a jury because of defamation, and then you settled the case. Answer my question.
Respectfully, sir, I'm asking the questions here, and I have no involvement.
You just lost. You just lost. That's it. Awooga, dive. You're done.
You don't ask the questions here. You don't know me. Yeah.
This is my show.
So
you
lame.
don't come in here with your white male penile oppressiveness. Dude, you lost so bad. You know, all you had to say was, I don't represent CNN, and I actually take your point that you don't represent the people in the Signal chat. You made a very good point. And you know what? I've got some questions about the VA. Let me ask them. But people can't do that because because when you have microburst conversations, if you don't win, you're not going to get a second chance. You are rated on your performance of how you make somebody look stupid in today's world. And lady, holy backfire. Here's the rest of it.
Referencing there. But if you don't want to answer the question about whether or not
Leroy, go ahead. Your opinion on this thing? Oof.
I like him. So it's something that I think most people in the media, and it doesn't matter if it's Fox, CNN, MSNBC, I think they're all, when you get to that level and you're the person behind the counter getting ready to interface with somebody within the government, they must take classes on how to pin somebody down, right? Twist their words against them and really just kind of make the argument whatever they need it to be in order to push their agenda. And so for him to lean it back on her as efficiently as he did, and she just had nothing. I thought that was fantastic. JD Stillwell, thank you so much. I can't see the beginning. Oh, I didn't see the beginning of that message. I'm sorry.
That's because it took forever. Thank you for the show, my brothers. And JD's always there for us. I'm sure he's okay. JD, put it in chat and I'll reply. That's okay. I tried to give it to you as fast as I could. I apologize, buddy. Don't be sorry. It's hard. We're running a show.
I'm trying to get it out there. Yeah.
You're doing fine. You do a great job. I couldn't agree more. Caitlin Collins is just, if you would have seen her before all of her work, she was gorgeous. Thanks for a great show, my brothers from another mother. Thank you, JD. We appreciate you. So tell your mom she's a chicken shit. Even for 10 seconds to say hi? Okay. That's okay. That's okay. It makes sense. People shouldn't come on the show if they have a corporate job. So Caitlin Collins, if you would have seen her before, and I know this doesn't have anything to do with this, is an emotional thing. This is just guys being guys, but we're guys. So she was a gorgeous woman. And now she looks like a guy. I just I don't know
Jennifer
what she's
Grey syndrome. Like prior to getting all the work done, Jennifer Grey, I thought she was so much fucking hotter prior to all of her surgeries, like Ferris Bueller and Red Dawn. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah. And granted, she got the nose job and everything, but I don't know. Now I feel like she could get lost in a crowd. I liked her before. Same thing here.
Yeah. And it's not like she, was absolutely perfect, but I'm telling you, she was pretty. You're like, that's not the same woman. There's no way. Yeah, it's the same woman. It's absolutely the same woman. There she is now, and there she is then. It's just talk about redoing her nose, redoing her chin, redoing her lips, redoing her face. I don't know why women do that. Women are beautiful, and her personality just is toxic and corrosive, and it's bled through her looks. Anyway, Jennifer Grey, definitely a looker. I look at a lot of these people and look what feminism do to women, and it's bad. I mean, look at Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart was gorgeous, and now she looks like Justin Bieber with a meth problem. So, okay, so there's that emotional stuff. All right, moving on. JD Vance. Oh, first, Wimkin, folks. You got to go take care of Wimkin. It's in our lower hand corner here. We talk about him as much as we can, but we got to continue. Wimkin.com. 100%, 9 million followers. It is a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all into one. It's free speech. You go in there, you select your username, you put in your email, you select a picture. You got to do all that. 24 hours later, your account will be approved. You're not going to get an email because Google, Comcast has shut down the ability for Wimkin because they would not release January 6 information to the Senate Oversight Committee. So go do a favor. Go sign up. Say hello to Jason. We're on there live all the time. If you ever lose us on Facebook or YouTube, we're always going to be on Wimkin. They are good friends of our show. We love them to death. We love the amount of people we have on Wimkin. Olivia's out there reading the questions and tries to get them out there, but we appreciate you so much. So please go over to Wimkin, sign up, and go follow us over there. So real quick, this, and then we'll come back and talk about JD Vance.
Join Wimkin.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at Wimkin.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
All right, go over to Wimkin. So JD Vance, and when I say JD Vance may be the real deal, it has nothing to do with his presidency. I don't think he's going to be the president. I don't think he has the ability to be the president. I think he's making a great VP. I think he's a smart guy. I don't see him running the party. I think Youngkin is going to have his own people that he wants to pick. Youngkin really has punched his ticket. He's going to have the money. He's got the billionaires. He's already buying up the polling stations and the posts. Youngkin is more than likely going to be your 2028 nominee. And he can't stay out of politics for 4 years because in Virginia, you cannot have consecutive terms as governor. You can have 2. So he can do 4 now, take a 4 break, and then come back and get 4 again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Virginia is very, very specific about that. So it's a perfect time for him to run. It just makes sense. Then he can come back and be the governor of Virginia if he wants, or go on the lecture circuit for $250,000 a year. But JD Vance is a Marine. And people questioned him and said that he was more of like a photojournalist or, whatever, and not a real Marine. Well, first of all, in the Marine Corps, Leroy will tell you, what's the number one job of every Marine?
Infantry.
That's it. And every MOS means nothing because they're all infantry. These are qualified warriors. They are absolutely some of the most well-trained non-special forces group. And they do also have an elite special forces group, which is renowned in MARSOC, but also with recon. They are an incredible force. And I know a lot of corpsmen who work with the Fleet Marine Force and respect them as well. So to see JD Vance as a VP get down on a 240, and Leroy corrected me earlier because I thought it was a 249. He's like, I think it might be a 240, and he's absolutely right. It's elongated, longer barrel, and it's belt fed, but very similar to the 249. 249 is more subcompact and easy to carry. And he gets down on that, then I think he gets down on a 308. I want to show you a comparison contrast of this, and honestly, it's striking compared to Tampon Tim Walz. Okay, am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to do that in our new non-emotional state, Leroy? Am I allowed to make jokes? Okay, all right, just making sure. Here it is. Here's Tim Walz struggling with what looks to be a 12 gauge. Looks to be a Remington. It could be something else. I don't know, but here it is.
Yeah, that's my theory, and it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400.
It's a Beretta 400. Okay, fine. So close enough. Same thing.
I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trout because it has a kind of their patent thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulders much.
Look at JD. He looks so happy, man.
Oh yeah, he is just. Thomas says rifleman. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard any Marine say that. That infantry is what I always hear, but that's okay. I mean, whatever. Father was a Marine. Course correct. Here is an elongated photograph or video of this, and just hearing this 240 purr and just sing is something to behold. Well, listen to this. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Freedom seeds everywhere.
Yeah. So love that. And then here is another one of him. And he's going downrange on target, and I got to find that video. That one I do want to see. Oh, I don't know if I saved it when he's hitting, when he's ringing the plates, man.
So I know
he looks.
talking about that.
He was 375, 350, 400, and he's just ringing, and all the Marines are laughing. He's dialed in. He zeroes in a matter of seconds, and yeah, he just makes that plate ring. It's gorgeous. And then here's JD having a seat in Chow Hall and grubbing at the mess. Vice President of the United States.
It's going to have been in years.
Oh yeah, that mess is you could eat anything off of it. Has his cover on. I wish he would have taken it off. That's one thing. You sit at a table with me. Leroy has had a chance to spend some time with me. You take your cover off. I didn't like that, but that's okay. But he's genuine. And you know what? I think he just actually said it. I think she was like, you keep your cover on or something. I don't know, but he grabbed it like he was going to take it off. But he's probably said, I have hat head. But it doesn't matter. To see a smile like this, he gets picked on a lot. People make fun of him. And honestly, this man has done so much, and I don't care what you say. You talk about, pulling up bootstraps, and you talk about the rags to riches story and the American dream. This guy's living it, and you guys are this is supposed to be your demographic, liberals. This is the guy. You're supposed to be a part of the working party. This man is salt of the earth, and you can't show him a little bit of respect. Leroy, your thoughts on this and seeing these shots?
That is exactly what the left says is impossible with today's current standards, with today's current work environment, that nobody can get ahead because at some fashion or another, J.D. Vance should have never made it to vice president because people like Elon Musk or because of Jeff Bezos or any one of a number of millionaires/billionaires that would keep someone like that down. And yet, here we are. We have this guy who came from Middletown, Ohio, which is a pretty poverty-stricken area. They had their steel mill taken away from them very young, right? And so this poor kid struggled going through school, right? Ends up joining the military because he knows he wants to pursue something in college, buckles down, really applies himself, does well, and ends up becoming, I think it's an investment something with investments. I'm not sure on that part of it.
Investment banker? I don't know.
Yeah, but the idea is that, according to the left, that success story should have never happened, right? That would have been impossible.
Time out. Somebody ban. Hey, Estella Stewart. First of all, nice crop top with the boobs that literally won't quit.
I want to see.
You picked the wrong person to try to seduce from Korea as a 14-year-old freaking dipshit. That's a moderator who is just banned your ass. So Amy says, Estella Stewart, welcome to the show. Everyone is welcome here, but please be respectful. Thanks. Amy, ban her. That's not a real person.
Look at those guns. Hell
and
yeah.
if it is a real person, send me nudes and you can stay on the show.
Yeah.
So send me nudes. It's Matt@thedumbshow.com. Actually, it's Olivia at thedumbshow.com. Send them to Olivia. She'll probably want them more than me. Feet pics are also okay. So, and if you're a real person, I'm sorry, but with fun bags like that, I got a question. Are those built for comfort or built for speed? Do you play the motorboat?
There is no wrong answer, by the way.
There is no wrong. We like them all. Listen, I like J.D. Vance. I appreciate what he is doing as VP. I think he's filling the role as a VP should. He's getting out there. He's being seen. Yes. The administration. I got no problem. A lot of people say Kristi Noem can shoot better. Somebody said can shoot better than him. I don't care about that. I don't know about that. Marines are pretty damn good at what they do. And I would never call a Marine a rifleman. It's basic infantry, I believe. Is what they're called in. I don't remember the MOS code, and I really don't need to because I'm not a Marine. Here's JD in the prone position.
They identify as a rifleman. I will call them a rifleman just out of respect for your identification.
Yeah, if you want to call yourself a rifleman, that's fine. But all Marine are infantry. So Mary C. Sickler says I wouldn't call Force Recon a rifleman. Either would I. But we're talking about everyday gyrenes here, leathernecks. I like JD, so do I. Here's JD ring and steel, and It almost looks like there's a Barrett to his right. I don't know what he's shooting. It looks like there is a Barrett to his right. If anybody wants to correct me, if Thomas or somebody else, but I think he's got a Barrett right here. It is. It's a Barrett. I can tell by the flasher. But let's see what he's using. I don't know. We'll try to listen and see.
No, that's Barrett.
It looks like a Barrett to me. He's probably shooting a 308, is my opinion. Maybe a Scout sniper rifle. But let's listen. Oh no, that's 50. Is he shooting a 50? He's shooting a 50. Yep. And he rang steel, man, with a 50. I mean, it's kind of hard not to. I mean, Corvallis effect is negatable at a quarter. So, yeah, it looks like an 8.2 Barrett. Yeah, he's shooting a Barrett. So that's what we thought. So anyway, good for Jay. And he comes up smiling like the devil, dude. Just there it is again. Headshot. Dude, that's so great. So Tommy confirmed. Tommy is probably he's our firearms expert. We don't disagree on much. He corrects me if I'm wrong, and in this case, it looks like he confirmed it as a Barrett. I love seeing it. I love seeing military guys reconnecting with the military. I kind of felt that way seeing you in your Chiefs gear. I got a little choked up, and that was like the first time.
You were sporting a chubby, I could tell.
Yeah, I don't know if it was chubby, but I definitely got a little emotional, and it was hard. Yeah, okay, I was sporting a chubby, but I a lot of reflection, right? Sad.
Well, and so there's a lot that goes into those uniforms, and anybody who's ever worn it, right, and anybody who's ever earned any of the medals or anything like that, and from Matt and I's perspective, right, and what goes into the donning of that uniform. There's more to it than just a bunch of gold and whatever the case is. There's a significant amount of work that goes into that. So
yeah, and I was like a proud dad because I'm brushing him off and I'm squaring up his tie, making sure his gig lines, and
that's right,
making sure his, and that was it. And it's just what a good sailor does for another sailor, and making sure. And then I made sure he was carrying his cover like a fireman would. I said, no, Leroy, we got to change that up. You got to do a cadet carry. He never. No, it's okay, but he didn't know what a cadet carry was, and I said that's fine. That's why we're brothers, and that's why I'm here for you. But the first pick was this, and I jumped to. I said, no, stop. He looks like a fireman because this is a fireman carry for your cover, and I said, stop. Get that thing on a cadet carry, and that is a proper chief pick. And it wound up being, in my opinion, one of the best shots we got. And I was a little jelly. I'm not going to lie. I even told Olivia, I said, I miss it so much, and I miss the Navy, and I wanted to do it my whole life. And I was thinking about where I would be, and I think I would have went Mustang route. I wasn't going to be a chief for sure, but I was going to. That was what I was recalling for, was OCS, and I wanted to go be an officer. It was my goal, and one thing changed, and I probably never would have met Leroy, would have met my wife, wouldn't have my kids, wouldn't have all of you. So, but it was hard seeing him in uniform, and there was a twinge of jealousy that came out of me. But I was proud. But I was proud at the same time. And it's not a jealousy of resentment. It's a jealousy of I miss
absolutely. I understand.
Yeah, but you're squared away that day, dude. You look shit hot, and it was good. It was good to see. Did you have expert on both pistol and rifle?
I did not, but thank you for pointing that out.
Did I bring that up again? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm just messing with you. I love you.
You know what's funny? Is that I was so well versed with the 92 FS that when you go to qualify at Fort Jackson, like they tell you when you run the range, and when you do it, you've got 30, 40 people on either side. So if you're in the middle, you've got 30 people here, 30 people there, 40, whatever the case is, right? And they tell you what drill you're going to run. Right hand, reload, switch to weak hand, whatever the case is. And I was always the first one done. Still got the E. It wasn't.
Yeah, you
thing
You
for
you
me.
you
But-
you eat on the 92 FS, right? The Beretta. You eat on that, but you sharpshooter it on the rifle, right?
But I sharpshoot it on the rifle, and I was
Because
trying
you had a cold barrel and you had a cold housing,
Well,
right?
No, so like when you go to do that, they don't care what time of the year it is. It could be
No.
could be
Yeah, we called in
December.
February. Yeah.
Right, and it's an Army course. So when you first show up, they make you put on your full battle rattle, so you've got all your plates in, everything. And so you end up having to push a lot of that out of the way in order to get the butt to even sit on your shoulder correctly. On top of that, it like rained the night before. So like all of the pits where everyone lies, which is normally like sand, it was all like that muddy kind of crap.
Soupy,
It was
soupy
super
shit.
cold.
Yeah.
Super cold. Right. And so yeah, some of my targets didn't fall. No big deal. I don't care.
Yeah, we called at RTC Great Lakes, so we had the modified 16 as 22s, and that was like shooting. Yes, yes, to answer the question, yes, he got sharpshooter, and yes, I qualified expert on pistol and rifle.
There you go.
And and he's a chief, he's a CPO, and his salad bar is much more impressive than mine after a full career, so he wins, and I've always respected his service and defer to him on a lot of stuff because he's in. I'm not. I'm old salt, man, and he's older salt than I am, and he's still there. So he must be doing something right. They would have kicked me out by now. Let's move on. Good conversation, good topic, and a little bit of ribbon about the ribbon.
I am good.
The dumb store is.
Did you like how I did that though? A little bit of ribbon
did.
about
That
the
was
ribbon.
a good transition.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
Our store rocks, and if you have not had a chance to go over there. Whether it's buying new clothes or donations or reading the news or whatever it may be, please head on over, take a look. You can actually see some of the pictures of the Dumb Nation with their products and all of that. And what's really great is that if you come on over, you can go to our shop. And at our shop, we've got everything from coffee to jackets, books on the Constitution. But we've done something really cool is we've went ahead and made sure that you can see all the shirts in a 3-dimensional way. Right up front, which look really, really cool. And we're getting all of these changed out. So I just finished up the guys pretty much. Women are next. The way it used to look is this. So you can actually see them a little bit more effectively. And when you go in, don't make the mistake. You've got plenty of colors to choose from. These shirts are high-end. My mother-in-law has never bought one. She got a shirt today. And she looked at it and she was just bragging about how soft it was and what an amazing quality shirt. People will tell you that our stuff is one of the best. And the reason why is, if you take a look, we have 221 reviews. The ratio of reviews are ridiculous. With 5,000 transactions, most places like Apple, whatever else, they expect less than a 1% return rate. The fact that we have 221 reviews on 5,000 of 5 stars. We have a Diamond Transparency Award, which is the highest you can get. These are rated for customer service. We have these verified reviews, but we also have silver authenticity, which is we stand by what we say. We've got a monthly record of 10 verified reviews a month, which is exciting. And we are the top 10% store on the entire internet. So what they do, they take a look and they rate us on this, and I pay for this. It's been verified by Judge Me. And you can go in and get testimonials and everything you want. And learn all about our site and how we're rated. It's all available right here. And you can see that we have a 4.94 out of 5 stars. And we only have a couple 6 stars. And then we had some 2 stars that were accidents. You go in there, you'll see a 1-star rating, but they said nothing but great things. We have never had a bad review, and I don't expect to get one anytime soon. So come on over to the Don't Unfriend Me Show at thedumbshow.com, and you can guarantee that we will take care of you and you will get the best stuff in the world. Brian says, I forgot to thank you, Matt. I got my Constitution with your dedication inside. Thank you. I appreciate your show and what you all do. Hey, Brian, it's our pleasure. Whatever we can do to make you happy. Leroy, Congressman Tim Burchett. A lot of people don't know who he is. Happens to be someone who I like very much and follow. And he had a post today, and I just want you to kind of feel this video and just listen to the exhaustion in this guy's voice. And I want to get him on the show because I know what this feels like.
He's from Tennessee, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah, I think he's Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, Tennessee. And state legislature, good dude. Want you to listen to this.
Yeah.
And I think I've been there with jobs. He's there, and just listen to the heart, man. Here it is.
Great. Have a good weekend, brother. Thank you.
JD just said something. Hold on. My brother last night had a heart attack. Retired Master Sergeant, paratrooper, medic, and detention advisor for MP U.S. Army. Mike Stillwell, who is a follower of the show, is having bypass heart surgery tonight. Please say a prayer for him. Oh, my God. JD, give me his number, please. Text it to me. I want to call him before. What time's he going in? And if he's going in right now, let me know. I'll stop the show and I'll give him a call. Can you tell me, is he going in right now? When's he going under the knife? Is he in prep? Just let me know, and I'll stop the show. We'll call it good, and we'll move on. I don't even care that we're at goal. I want to talk to him before he goes under, please.
Yeah.
Please, 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 please. We want to talk to him. Let me know. Let's get this going. Folks, like I said, we might be ending the show early because I want to call Mike. I don't want to put him on the show without his permission. So please say a prayer. Put your hands together. If you plan on donating, he's already in. Okay, well then, hold on a second. Olivia! Sorry, guys, hold on. Hey, Mike Stillwell, JD's brother, who is a fan of the show, he's going in for open heart surgery right now, wants to lead in prayer. Do you think your mom would, off camera, lead us in real quick? Okay. No pressure. Just tell Mike we love him and we're hoping and praying. If you can give me his room number, he'll be up and about tomorrow. I mean, at least in bed and awake and coherent. And I'll call him. Olivia, it's okay. Olivia, it's okay. Sorry, she's trying to figure this out. Sorry, folks. Just hang tight.
No,
with us.
you're good.
It's important to me. I don't.
No, because, ultimately at the end of the day, everyone who wears the uniform, and it doesn't matter if it's Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, that we're all people who have at some point answered the call and basically said, hey, if it ever came down to it, you could count on me to defend the nation. And that means something to us.
Sorry, I'm talking to you're not. Cover your face. I got you. Talking to Mom here. You can go ahead and sit down, and you can hear me from here. You don't need to put in, but you can say something to the mic. This is my my mother-in-law, who is a great lady, and we didn't always see eye to eye, but I'll tell you what, I love this woman a lot, and she is she's a very nice lady, and she's going to lead us in prayer. This is for Mike Stillwell, and Mike is going into open heart surgery tonight, and we were hoping you could just kind of lead us in prayer. His brother JD is here, and he's listening, and you figured you'd be a good person to do this because I'm not very good at it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So if you take a second, go ahead, and please, after you, Jamie.
Dear God, we come before you now as we think of Mike Stillwell having his heart surgery tomorrow, I believe. And we just pray, God, that you will watch over him, give him the strength physically, and give the doctors the direction they need, and pray for all his family. And just thank you so much that you will watch over, and we know that you are with us always. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am. Outstanding. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. That was well done.
I love you. Thank you. All right. Okay. So just let him know we love him, and we're thinking of him. and we're praying for him. Okay. I don't need a Cliff Notes prayer guide. I don't. Yeah, I'll just let it. I don't feel I'm worthy yet. So I know you're going to tell. I know what you're going to say. Don't. I believe that I can pray to God myself, and I believe that He'll listen. I don't know if I've earned for Him to listen about other people, and I feel I'm worthy enough for that, because my soul has questions, and I have my faith isn't as strong as it should be. So I participate, but I don't lead those, and that's my own. You're not going to convince me. So everyone's like typing, "No, Matt, that's not true." That's my feeling, okay? But my relationship with God is very complicated, and all I care about is that Mike's good, and I know how to pray. I just don't know if I'm worthy of praying on other people. That's it, okay? I know what you're going to say, but let's rock and roll. She does sound a lot like Olivia, doesn't she? You should see her. She's like 82, and no, just kidding. Wow. She's older, and she's a great looking woman, and she's super smart. Here is the video I wanted to show you. Thank you for participating, Leroy. Let's rock and roll.
Thank
you, Kev.
Several bills today. Not a whole lot moving the needle. I'm kind of disgusted, really. I mean, freaking Rashida Tlaib's got an amendment on here to, I don't know, is going after our friends, I'm sure. And we allow those crazy amendments on there. They get 3 votes, and I can't even get a bill on the floor to defund the Taliban or stop selling genetic material to our enemies. 5 bills. I guess the major one was, I'm sure they'll do a victory lap on this one. Walk-in coolers and freezers. It was basically the Biden administration had put some terrible rules and regulations, and it outlawed our basically American manufacturers, and it created an inlet for the foreign and our adversaries to do business. So I mean, it's a good piece of legislation, need to be passed, but we're not fulfilling President Trump's Doge agenda. Remember this, Congress, Republicans, we got about a 3-person lead, maybe, and I'm sure I'll catch hell for saying this, but we didn't. Our approval rating is right above those people that are scraping Teslas right now, and you know we're running around the country hollering about all this stuff, and Trump won overwhelmingly because of the Doge agenda, cutting this stuff out, and we're not cutting nothing out. So, yeah, I'm disgusted. Anyway, hopefully we'll do better next week. Thank y'all for sitting me here.
That should be a campaign video, right? I mean, because that's real, man. But Elise Stefanik was just polled for UN ambassador. Donald Trump requested because the seat margin is so small. This means that they're seeing some territorial pissings in some of the early poll numbers for 2026, that there's going to be some districts that are going to be vulnerable. Right. And they feel that they need to have Elise Stefanik stay where she's at. Losing Matt Gaetz also, we got to refill that. You got to, all these things that we have to do. So how palpable is that for you, dude, to see a politician be honest?
Right. And look, the fact of the matter is this is what you can go to his website, right? And it runs through and I was able to do that just in the time that he was talking. And if you go through there, you see that, some of the measures that he's voted either for or against, and just his straight up candor, is refreshing, right? That's what you want to hear. I don't want somebody who tries to sell me on anything, or somebody who is, trying to muddy up the waters or confuse what DC has already had, time to confuse for all of us. I like somebody who just comes in and just looks at the camera and says exactly what's on his mind. Matt and I have talked about it before. Somebody who either looks up and to the left or up and to the right. I want somebody who's looking at the camera and saying, "Look, man, Rashida Tlaib, she did this today. I voted. I put this bill forward, and it got shot down." I love that. Yeah. That's somebody who's honest. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I think it's somebody who deserves some recognition for his honesty. It's got to be a drudgery just to feel like you're in constant stagnation. I mean, you and I lived through government bureaucracy, but in the end of the day, we could go ahead and punch a few whiskeys at the end of the night and, go take it out on some unsuspecting Air Force guys or something. But these guys don't necessarily have those outlets, and they go in Washington and they go up in that cesspool, and you got to feel dirty when you come out of it. I'm not a big fan. How could that happen? Don't we have the majority? Right. But state legislature every year has seats come up for grabs. So in 2026, you'll have a very large chunk of the House have to run for re-election because they have to run for every 2 years. Now, I believe state legislatures should have the same as senators. It's not the way it is, though. Or 4 years, the same as governors. But a lot of people don't. But I believe that the House being in control of financing 2-year stints puts them in very precarious positions to have to go dirty quick. And let's just face it, the House members are some of the worst because 3 months after they get sworn in freshman Congress, they have to start running for re-election. And they got to raise $2 million. So you can be compromised. And when you control the purse strings, you're going to do whatever you can to. It's like, here you go. Here's $50,000 for your campaign. And you're like, what do I owe you? You vote with us. Okay, well, now you're compromised. Right. So that's why I'm like, let's get the state legislators to at least 4 years. And that's my opinion. But Leroy, anything else on this before we move?
Just real quick, Matt and I have talked about this before. It seems like the Super Bowl for politics is always going to be the presidency, right? It's always going to be, all right, Trump won or Harris won or, whatever the case is. But really, the most effectual people in your lives, right, is always going to be your local. It's always going to be the people that occupy whatever city you're in. It's going to be your council people. It's going to be your governors, your mayors, that level of politician. Those are going to be the guys that are the most impactful on your life. And Tim Burchett, I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing
Burchett.
Just one of those guys who you really want to make sure that that's a guy who stays in office, right? To Matt's point, these are in 2 years' time, right? His office may end up coming up for a re-election again. If you live in Tennessee, please get out and support that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It is Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jail or no jail for the shooter? You decide. Watch this.
Fucking hands up, pussy. Put your fucking hands up, pussy. Get down. Put your fucking hands up, pussy. Put your fucking gun down and strap like a man, bitch.
Okay. The miscommunication is that you think that this guy is not going to use his firearm. This man has his back foot in proper placement. He has his front foot in proper placement. His head is completely forward. He knows to lower the firearm and keep it out of range. I wish it was a little bit up into his chest. But somebody who has a slight lean forward, he is in firing ready position.
Yeah.
This guy ain't fucking around. And for
Whoever
you to continue
flip-flops needs to be very careful here.
Yeah. All right. Well, he isn't because he keeps talking shit. Watch this.
Strap like a man, bitch.
Okay. We're doing this.
That's what it feels like, buddy. Yeah. So it hurts. Guy with a gun going to jail?
I think he could make the claim that he might have been in fear for his life.
The guy outweighs him by 40 pounds. Roughly the same height. But if somebody pulls a weapon, it's like you're seeing a mountain lion and it's giving you a warning, or a rattlesnake shaking its tail, and you want to continue to move forward. You're going to get bit. He pulled a gun, and you continue to talk. You know what I would have said? You know what, bro? We're good.
Yeah, time for me
We're
to
good.
go.
You know what, bro? You and me, we got no problems.
Roseanne's got a new show on. I'm not going to miss it, so I'm going to go.
That's right. Yeah. Life's good for me. My wife's hot. I'm going to go home, and that's the only shooting I'm going to be doing. Michelle Lionberger says, what state? And that is a great question. Do they have stand your ground law? Because if it's stand your ground, then you're good. Okay. If there's castle doctrine, it's a little, is that his property? Was he on his property and forced? Did this guy confront him on his property so he couldn't get home? There are so many variables, but depends on what state, depends on castle doctrine. But most importantly, all he has to say is, I felt like my life was in danger. Now, if is he a concealed carry holder? Is he carrying properly? Do they have open carry in the state? Do they have concealed carry in the state? What is it? If this is in Idaho, the rules change a lot. So the point is this. You use your firearm so you can get home. That guy didn't say one word. He said, lay down, get away from me. He repeated the command multiple times, which would lead you to believe that he was calm, cool, and collected the entire time. And if that guy simply would have walked away, because he broke leather, but he wasn't aiming his weapon at him. And you look at his shot selection, this is the key. He had a kill shot. I mean, he had him lined up dead to rights. He had headshot at that distance, but he dropped the weapon. Take a look. And looks like he got him in the lower hip or abdomen, and did a less lethal shot selection, which will also help him in his court battle. Watch it right here. Let me ask you a question, Leroy. When you hear that, that makes me laugh and makes me happy. What does it do for you? Does it do I need psychotherapy?
What the hell is wrong with that guy? Right? Like, that's like going naked up against a serial killer who's holding an axe. Like, I'm going to get you. No, don't do it. Go the other direction. Run.
That's right. Stand your ground and it doesn't matter where you're at. Public, sidewalk, house, castle doctrine is the question. But if that is his house and that man is impeding his ability to get to his house, castle doctrine applies. So there's a lot. Who's filming? It's a security camera. We get that question so often.
Like
who's filming?
Along those lines.
It's like a Ring doorbell, or I've got 20. Ask Leroy. I got like 75 of them around my house. But the whole thing, Amy. Okay, you were delayed. Sorry, hon. I know I got your question. You don't have to explain. I got it. I saw it. I know I answered your question after you had I answered it once. So the whole point is this. When I hear that, a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's so sad. I laugh. Like, you earned that outcome. And I think his cries of pain make me happy. It makes, it's levity. Like, if someone would remix it as a song, I would listen to it every morning to be motivated. I think it's awesome that he got shot because you earned it. Now, did he die or anything? I don't know. And I really don't care because you're an idiot. That's like a person that goes and jumps into a cage with a lion.
Right.
You deserve it.
I'm going to swim in with this orca and have a little fun. And
yes.
When they find you later, right?
Yes.
You've been torn to shreds. Like,
right.
Like, is it funny at that point? Is it sad?
Yeah.
Is it funny? Absolutely.
I just want to see the blue water turn red. Right? Yeah. I'm ready. I'm here for it. So a lot of people are like, that's sick and twisted. I don't know if it is. I just believe that it's like the guy on a motorcycle who goes past you at 180 miles an hour. And you're like, God, I hope you run into a wall. And then like all of a sudden they run into a wall. I'd be like, well, sucks to be you. You know, people will go by and almost kill us in a car. And I'm like, God, I hope you get into a head on with a tree.
Yeah.
And I mean it. And if it would happen, I wouldn't go, oh my God, look what I created. I'd be like, holy crap, can I win the lottery too? And can Olivia get some huge boobs? So, guys, girls, if you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. Call me crazy. I don't care. We'll be right back. Folks, 142.40. We got 17 minutes until the 9 o'clock hour. And listen, the Los Angeles Kings are playing the Colorado Avalanche. And remember what I said 20 games ago. And I said the Avs are going to be, I'll be surprised if they lose 2 games over the next 20. You remember I said that? Well, they've won 10 in a row at home. Out of 23 points, they've actually scored, they've acquired 20 points out of 23 possible. The Avs are one of the best teams in the league right now, and they are essentially unstoppable. So I'm not going to say I called it, but I'm going to watch the Kings game. Okay, so if we're going to donate, now is the time to not give me, a heart attack. New ringtone. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled out funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Amy, are you kidding? Are you actually stuck in an elevator, or are you just pulling my Laria? Let me know, because that's taking some serious stuff. I didn't. Okay, so yeah, let me know. Okay, not going to get to the Hillary Clinton story. And honestly, who cares about Hillary Clinton? Christine Reeves just compared banning men from competing in women's sports to racial segregation. We got 14 minutes left. We're going to do this. And then I'm going to get into 2 cool stories. Kristi Noem and also Man's Best Friend, which, call me sentimental. Here is basically AOC in 20 years and about 40 ding-dongs, Hostess cupcakes, and a few Big Macs. AOC. I'm not kidding. When you see it, you'll see it. It's unbelievable. Ready? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible. Like, if AOC got fat and ate a lot of fast food, this is...
I can imagine the size of her ass then. Yeah.
This is it. This is it. Here it is. Maybe. Oh, come on.
I'm feeling compelled, given the debate this morning, similar to your remarks, Madam Chair. I recall a time in our country's history, not that long ago, given that my grandmother just passed away, where people like my grandfather were told that they could not participate in sporting activities because he was a Black man. I can recall a time in our country's history, Madam Chair, where people like my grandfather and my great-grandfather were not allowed to participate in processes and places in our society because of the color of their skin, because people for years, for generations, had told our society that Black people were less than.
Rhiannon Conklin. God, it's been a long time, Rhiannon. Good. Welcome back. Good on you. 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 nights a week. It's been that way for a while. We miss you. Welcome back.
Human, that Black people were animals, that Black people did not have the brain capacity to compete with white Americans. And as I'm listening to this debate, Madam Chair, it reminds me of a time in our country where people generated science to compel people to believe in the argument that my father, my grandfather, my grandmother, my great-grandparents were less than in our society. And Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, I would just say that the beauty of our society, the beauty of being human beings, and I hear that a lot from my colleagues across the aisle, that we should just all engage as if we are humans. So I'm going to compel us to remind each other that in the beauty of being human, we have the ability to evolve, we have the ability to grow, we have the ability to learn, Madam Chair. And I'm just feeling compelled this morning to remind us that we have evolved as a society, we have evolved as a community to recognize that Black people are not less than, women are not less than, and that it is an opportunity in our society to remember that as we grow as humans, that we can include people, that we can bring people together in our communities, to meet them where they are, to understand how they experience the world, and to bring them in rather than pushing them out. And I want to remind us that we are repeating history, Madam Speaker, in this debate, and it is very, very scary to me that we are making a lot of the same arguments today about this subset of our population that my grandfather, my grandmother, and my grandparents had to be subjected to for years, being told that they were less than, that they didn't deserve the same rights as other people because of the color of their skin. And I feel compelled this morning, Madam Speaker, to encourage us to vote no on this amendment, to stop repeating the disingenuous arguments that other humans in our society, rather than embracing inclusion and encouraging folks to evolve as the humans that we are, to be more inclusive.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit. Leroy, we need to be more educational on this. So why don't you start off with your non-emotional response? Sure. No, I won't make it stop. If I have to sit through, listen, I don't cut videos. I show you what you need to see. And I wanted her entire message to be as painful as it was when I saw it. Leroy, go ahead.
So when someone makes an argument like that, right, look for the logical fallacies. And in this case, it's kind of obvious, right? No one has ever said that Black people and white people were in some way, shape, or form on unequal grounds in terms of either academic or sports or, whatever the case is. But there's a huge disparity between men and women in sports, which is why if a woman ever joined the MMA and tried to go up against a Randy Couture, like, call an ambulance. It's why you don't see 5'2" women playing in the NFL or in the WNBA or in the NBA. So I think that argument itself is disingenuous. And for her to kind of put that out there like, oh, this is just another form of the racism that my grandparents endured. Yeah, that's not true. And what that does is it insults what your grandparents went through. It devalues the struggle that they went through, and it also devalues the differences between genders. In effect, it devalues women, and it devalues men. So that's my take on it.
My take's pretty simple. I wish I was in the room because I have a non-emotional, factual, lucid response, and it is, I don't think Black people are pretending to be Black. No matter how hard they try. No matter how hard Eminem wants to be Black, he's not. Okay.
Right.
And that's pretty much, yeah. That's all I got. It's the first time brevity has ever been my strong suit in this show, but there it is. How hard? Melanie Wallace says, "Oh, she's crazy. Let men and women sports nut job." I love that people are starting to contribute, and more people are commenting. People I haven't seen, and that's what I mean. Janet, good to see you on here. And I'm seeing names that we haven't seen before. And we're seeing old friends like Rhiannon come back, and hopefully Jennifer McCarver does. Folks, we've got 7 minutes. I'm not saying I'm worried, but I'm a little worried. I'm not saying I'm sweating. Bobby, I don't know where Bobby is. She can't save the day all the time, folks. We've got to keep the show going. We got $150 to hit. I'm hoping we can pitch in and make it happen. So I'm not the 700 Club. I will not give you 7 blessings if you give us money. What I'll tell you is I'll say thank you and that I love you. Stephen E. Jackson says, why is it men always trying to play in women's sports and not women in men's sports? Well, that's a great point because one can and the other can't. That's why.
Right.
I mean, I want to keep it as simple as possible. I mean, one can and the other can't. That's it. Christy Noem decided to go to, I mean, this is a visceral video, and you're going to get a palpable reaction because it's intense. First, Christy Noem looks really good. Number one, she reminds me of Diane Carter, Wonder Woman.
Really?
And I had a crush on Diane Carter. Oh yeah, when you see her, in this,
who didn't?
Yeah, seriously. When
When
she
I
pulled out
kissed her
that
on the
lasso,
Yeah.
when she pulled out that lasso, this was me as a kid. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Tie me up. I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm
Yeah.
serious. Have your way with me.
Did you
I'll
know
I'll never lie to you.
her alter identity, her fake identity in the show in one of those episodes, she was a yeoman
Diana-
second class.
Yeah, Diana Prince. Yeah.
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 YN2.
Yeah, YN2.
Woman.
Basically couldn't cut it as an IS. That's right. So
God.
Christy Noem, I'm telling you, she looks like Diane Carter. She goes down to Venezuela or El Salvador. Yeah, I mean, to be specific. It goes into and is literally surrounded by, this is what they are in these 100-foot cubicles, full steel cages, 4 levels of racks, 4 rows of racks per cage, all the way to the ceiling. And dude, like, did I say Diana Carter? Because she was Diana Prince in the show. Linda Carter.
Linda
See,
Carter.
yeah, but
Right.
Diana was her name in the show. Sorry.
That's
So
right.
listen, I just had to like throw back myself to 6 years old. Cut me some slack, okay? I'm 51. I'm 51 in less than a week. Cut me some slack. I'm getting old. But my shoulders are coming in really nice. Okay. So anyway,
That's the car.
Thanks, buddy. Someone called me fat today. I was like, really?
What?
You think I'm fat? Wow. Why don't you call me stupid? Because you'll be right on the money there. So watch this. Tell me what you think. And your first reaction, true, your visceral reaction. Here it is. And you're right. It is Linda Carter. I'm tired. Diana Prince was her name. I at least I didn't call her Linda Prince. Okay. Here it is.
First of all, you will be removed and you will be prosecuted.
Let me get the volume up on this. Sorry. I don't know if it goes higher.
Today, and here at CCOT today and visiting this facility. And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people. Here at CCOT today and this.
So let's get your reaction, and then I want to talk about Melanie Wallace, what she had to say, because I'm interested on this. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's an appropriate message, and I understand that having everyone in the cages behind her was intended to invoke a certain emotional response, something to say, oh my God, I don't want to be locked up with those people, but I'm not sure that was the right thing to do. Now, I'm not saying that it was wrong either. I'm just not sure that I would have gone that route. That being said, I absolutely agree with her messaging, which is, hey, look, if you're going to come here illegal, these are the potential consequences. And don't think that we're not going to do it, because we absolutely will. And if you want to be locked up with a bunch of MS-13 members while we sort everything out, then, that's on you. Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good message. The placement, I'm not sure about. I might have done it from exterior to where anyone could see like that. But just a personal preference thing.
Yeah, it was a little
cringe.
It was a little cringe.
Right? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, it was like very Auschwitz.
Yeah.
German. Yes.
Like, don't show that.
Like, my opinion, I truly firmly believe that it's not bragging if it's true, but I also believe that there are things that we should be above as a country, and you shouldn't hide from this. But I don't know if you needed to rub people's noses in it. And I know it's hard because these guys are criminals, and dude, they cut off heads, and what they do is 100 times worse. I understand that. And you want to put the fear of God into them. But a lot of these guys are already showing contrition. You've said it. A lot of these guys are like, listen, this is not what we thought this was going to be. We're done. We don't want to be a part of this. A lot of these guys serve in these gangs because they're forced to. I'm not defending MS-13 or Tren de Aragua. Okay. Fuck those guys, honestly. But in my opinion, I don't think that she needs to, Department of Homeland Security need to stand in front of a cage full of people with shaved heads looking like they're in a concentration camp. I don't think it's good optics. I just don't. Like, it's palpable. It's a very poignant message.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if it's the one you wanted to make. Who thinks we're crazy? Because, Leroy and I were like, fuck these guys. I mean, go put a bullet in their head. It's easier.
I absolutely would absolutely say that, right? What I'm saying is that when if you're trying to publicize a message, if you're trying to architect a message that you're going to put forth to the general public, that maybe that setting isn't the best choice, is all I'm saying.
Read this. This is great. Cheryl Lynn has this and a couple of other people. Go ahead and read that.
Hold on, I gotta blow it up. Megyn Kelly is not too impressed with Christie anymore. She said she goes to places dressed in tight clothing, wears fake eyelashes, lipstick, dangling earrings, and talks tough. And then it went away. She does not understand why she always has to have the cameras following her. That's fair.
Megyn Kelly and I, once again, always seem to agree. Megyn, I'm totally willing to be on your show. By the way, I know you're a photographer, so can we make a connection or something? Because I understand she's doing a great job. My point is, I don't believe this was necessary. Not because of any sympathy or Paul Rivera, 51.99. I got 50 on it. Come on, dummies. Thank you, Paul. You always seem to help save the day. 194.39. We're getting close. Let me just clarify my statements. I want Tren de Aragua, MS-13, any cartel to be terrified of the United States as much as they terrify our border patrol and our peoples. I want them fearful of us.
Absolutely should be.
But you don't need to go on TV to do that, because the grapevine will take care of this. Like, the images, let the media report on this. Let a media crew in there. Let them do it. You don't need to do it. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like those people, but contrition, to show remorse. There are a lot of them who are like, I don't want to be here anymore. This was a mistake. And they're tatted out, and these are definitely bangers, and I don't care about that. But I don't know how I feel about it. I just, as someone who's been to Auschwitz, I just think the imagery is bad. That's all.
Yeah.
I just think the imagery is bad. I don't, and I'm not like the left media who's outraged by this. I think she's doing great. I send them all there. I don't give a shit. My point is, I'm talking about her. I'm talking about the optics. 2110, wish it was more. I don't. It's just right.
Angela.
Thank you, Angela. 2110. So Janet says scared straight doesn't always work. How close do you live to where they arrested the MS-13 gang leader today, Matt? Fairly close. Cat fight. I think that Republicans, I want everybody's comments. I think that the Republicans have been so weak for so long. Now that we have the leadership that is sending a much more impactful message, it seems to make our message even seem overblown. Oh, Brian, that's a very good point. That's a good point, right? So it's like it's so extreme. Like there were other levels of necks that we could have done. It's like we went from 6 to midnight on that. That's a really good point. Melanie says she used her inside thoughts that we all may think, but she should have not been so braggish about it. Okay, Melanie, that's good. If she was a man doing it, oh, I would absolutely condemn it too. Yeah, it has nothing to do with a woman. It has nothing to do with her power and strength.
Don't care about the gender. Just it wasn't her in the camera that was bothering me. It was the people behind her.
Yeah, like screw them. But there almost comes to a point where you got people in jail, you got their head shaved, keep doing it. You don't need to. You're not going to dissuade the people who really need to be dissuaded. What you're going to do is say, well, is America really the land of the free? Do they believe in due process? Are any of these people, are they all illegal? Are they all gang members? But even though we understand and trust that they are, you start making people ask questions and you start giving imagery of a concentration camp. We don't need to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's an example. Obama with kids in cages. When they tried to label us with kids in cages, what do we do? No way. That wasn't us. That was Obama. And what did the left do? They denied it. And those cages were fairly civil and fairly benign. And they were for the children's protection. This is the extreme of that. And nobody's slowing down and saying, wait a second, is this really the best messaging for this administration? And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think, honestly, I'll probably feel different tomorrow and I want to follow back up. But I hope I'm at least making sense. I'm not even giving a, Gandalf, thou shalt not pass on this. I mean, I very well could change my mind. But my first reaction is, it's a little cringe. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Thomas says, but this also sends a message to the non-gay members that are thinking of coming or already here. I know, and that's the thing. Do we truly believe, and I'm just asking a question here, that every single person who came across, no matter how long they've been here, what they've contributed to the United States, deserves to be thrown into a prison and have their head shaved and to be emasculated in front of a camera? Do we believe it? Well, then maybe that's not the right message to send. That's my point. I believe that there's two very different messages here, because you have her on camera on Fox that says, hey, don't come here illegally. If you do, you're going to be deported. That's a great message for everybody. But now the same woman is standing in front of this cage and saying, don't come here, don't cry, or you're going to be deported. Right. It sends like we're treating everyone the same, and I don't believe that everybody is the same. Come on, guys, help me understand. There are 2 MS-13 leaders within the interior of the United States. Yes. Mary wearing tight clothes and eyelashes. Mary Sickler, good question. Not sure how I'd feel about it. Food for thought. I wouldn't care. If it was a man, I'd say the exact same thing. I swear to God, if it was Tom Homan, I'd be like, it's a little much. It's almost like gloating. Yeah. Loretta says it's almost like gloating. Bobby says, but the media is okay with other countries parading Americans in cages or locked up. Bobby, I agree with you. Once again, but do we want to be like those countries, Bob?
Exactly. Marcus Aurelius once said, the greatest revenge is to not be like your enemy, right?
Yes. Howie, good to have you back, buddy. Good to see you. Get on. Karen, we don't need to publicize that mental image. Point taken, Matt. Joanne says, the Jews didn't do anything to end up in camps. Those animals did. I personally am good with it. Yes, you're right. And I'm not concerned so much with, it's a very good point. Like the emotional investment in this topic is there for me. Like you heard what I said. I think if you've been found guilty of committing crimes in the United States, I don't think you should get a flight. I think you should get something in the back of the head. If you've harmed children, if you've cut people's heads off, if you've raped women, if you've given fentanyl to school, goodbye. But there is a process to that, right? Because we are the land of the free, and people do have inalienable rights the moment they step on U.S. soil, whether they're illegal or not. Whether we like that or not, whether that bothers you or not, that is the law. And we do have, by all intents and purposes, to follow the law. But here's the thing. And here's the one thing I didn't think of, which might change my mind. They have been classified as domestic terrorists. He has classified MS-13 and Tren de Aragua as terrorist organizations, and that suspends habeas corpus. So, but what tells that these guys are guaranteed to be that? I don't know. Bobby Richardson donated.
Bobby.
Keep doing you. Love you all. $51.99. Thank you, man.
Bobby.
What follow up on that last thought there, buddy?
No, I agree with you, and I understand that you can be classified as a terrorist organization or an FTO, whatever the case is, and does that mean that you should still necessarily show them in their underwear, basically waiting to be processed? I still say it's not that it's how can I put this? It's not that it's wrong. It's just a bad optic. Does that make sense? It would be kind of like, you think of a proper example here. It would be kind of like anybody else who had ever gone to prison. Like, you wouldn't necessarily want them touted right behind you as if to say, hey, look what we did, right? And that's kind of the vibe that I got from that. Nobody is wrong here for saying, oh no, go ahead and show it. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I wouldn't have gone that far.
Can I try to just say something else? It's not about the people in the cages, because people are right. They're like, they're not schoolboys. These aren't choir boys. These are bad people. Right. Yes. And I don't care about them. Frank Riley, 2110, another killer show. Thanks, Matt and Leroy. You're welcome, Frank. Thank you, buddy. So, yes. Okay, let me try to put it this way. It's not about the guys in the cages, and it's not about Kristi Noem, because they can be mutually exclusive, right? We can say, guys in the cages, good. Deported from our country, good. Looking miserable, good. On your knees with your head shaved, better. Like, that will dissuade, hopefully, people from doing this, and even regular illegals will get the message too. But the moment you put Kristi Noem into that, anything that happens in that prison that makes the news is now her responsibility. You put the Trump administration in jeopardy. You're not running this prison. This isn't a U.S. run prison. These are Venezuelan and El Salvadorian prisons, and these people are being paid by us. So what happens if some of the guards decide to start killing these guys? What happens if it becomes like Abu Ghrabi prison, where it's an ass and cock fest? I'm just saying, a little bit of discretion is okay. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I hate, this is the problem with seeing the other side and going, can we look at this from a different perspective? What if this was Kamala Harris? Vice President of the United States goes down there and she's doing it. What would you say? Seriously, even though she wouldn't be doing this, would you have the same reaction? If the answer is yes, then good on you.
Think I would. It's not that I'm saying it like a hardcore, like, oh my God, I am morally or socially offended. I'm not. That's not it. I'm just saying, if we're trying to remain a conservative, from a conservative point of view,
right.
Sorry, Mary Sickler. So you're not okay to televise death row inmates being killed.
Yes, I'm totally okay with that. What I'm not okay is with Donald Trump or Melania Trump or Pam Bondi going up there and going, tonight, we're going to show you one of these people murdered. And dial in now. And if you're out there and you commit crime, this could happen to you. I don't know if I'd be okay with that. I think public execution should take place. I think you should take the top 10 criminals in your state and publicly execute them and hang them in Times Square. Yes. Not our problem in El Salvador. No, it is our problem, because we are paying them to do this. We are paying them to take these people and imprison them. So my point is, optically, it's very similar to Pete Hegseth coming out with the signals thing and not just saying, you know what, the president's spoken. I'm a Secretary of Defense. I disseminated information to the cabinet like I was supposed to. I used a secure channel. As far as the reporter, we're going to investigate. It's never going to happen again. Have a nice day. Instead of, we had the most successful, huge, this was awesome. There was no wrongdoing. It wasn't a war plan. It was an attack plan. Or my point is I am critiquing because I believe the court of public opinion is how you get elected and reelected in this country. And we should be very careful to convey numbers, convey stats, but you don't need to always show people how the cake is made. Does that make sense what I'm saying? How are we not?
Yeah.
Can we not?
It does.
We're paying these guys.
I'm tracking you.
We're paying these guys so we don't have to do it because they're $500,000 each. They're taking them for $6 million. 232 guys for $6 million. We're paying them. So I just want us to think, and I'm not defending MS-13. I'm looking out for Kristi Noem. I'm looking out for the United States of America. I'm looking out for our republic. I'm looking out for due process. I'm looking out for the land of the free, home of the brave. I'm looking out for all men are created equal. And I'm looking for the fact that if you step foot on U.S. soil, you have the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You're not guaranteed those things, but you are afforded the right. And we have to be careful. That's all I'm saying. We just have to be careful. I don't like to be compared with Nazis and then demonstrate something that kind of reminds me of 1938 and 1939, where the Nazi Oberstlieutenants would go and tour the camps with cameras. To me, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't know about y'all.
Again, it's about optics. With everything that is happening right now within DC, right? Even though Pete Hegseth's phone text conversation within Signal was probably 100% okay, right? It's about optics. And this is just, it's not wrong. It's just that it's not
wrong, right.
It's the wrong strategy, right? Does that make sense?
It's not wrong and it's not right. And that's the problem.
Right.
It's just right in the middle. And I don't know if we want to ride the middle when it comes to our image to the rest of the world. Listen, you're talking about people who have either seen or worked or been responsible for interrogations. We understand the level of that you can take it. Like, I think Leroy, if you ask him, will tell you that waterboarding and anything you do against a jihadist, no, he won't say it. But I will tell you that mental and physical torture is a very strong motivator to get information from a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's an absolute a necessary part for counterintelligence and human intelligence, and I think it is a shame we don't do it. But what I wouldn't do is go, hey, man, look at this guy, bamboo shoot, shove it into his freaking fingernail and say, yeah, you want it? You steal secrets from the United States or you perform any intelligence, counterintelligence in our country, and this is your fate. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Matt, you have probably already seen this, so just tell me if I'm already, like, my movie recommendation is going to be negated or not. But if you have not seen a 2010 movie with Samuel L. Jackson called Unthinkable, this topic deals directly with that. In the movie, he plays somebody who they bring in, who these black ops type operations will bring in when life is on the line and when someone needs a piece of information. They bring Samuel L. Jackson in, and then they shut the door and they say, all right, we are not looking now.
Right.
Right.
Hot coals on the testicles.
And it's got Carrie Ann Moss, Samuel L. Jackson, and a bunch of other A-listers. It's really good.
Yeah. And once again, thank you. I'm going to watch it. I've got it. You know me, unlike you, I actually watch what you recommend. Payback, just saying. But we've told you guys homework for you many times is The Siege. And you should go watch The Siege with Denzel Washington, with Annette Bening, and Bruce Willis. This is a fantastic. If you really want to like dive into the dichotomy of torture and imagery and what this does, you should go watch The Siege. I'm just trying to listen. Sometimes I'm wrong, I could be wrong on this. I can openly admit it, but this is a great conversation because everyone's included. This is the way our show needs to run. The last 20 minutes is how bringing everybody into it. Let people have an opinion and read it, not take offense, because everyone got to say how they felt. And I believe that creates great conversation.
Yeah,
folks, we are $12 away from our goal at $288.58. We could use a big one to make a good night into a great night. And it looks like we got a donation from Rumble. I don't know who it's from, but everyone will tell me. But do me a favor, and if we could just hit that donation, let's hit this goal and move on. But this next video, man, can I just tell you, I see what you were saying about becoming more rational, a little bit more not emotional, because this is good. This is a good show. Like this is probably one of the best shows that you and I have done, and we've done a lot of good work together. We played well off of each other tonight. I think we had enough banter and joked around a little bit, but we also were very serious in our introspective on our opinions. Before we said something, we took a moment and thought about it. That is what we did very well tonight. It was good. I love my dog, dude. Leroy got to see Ash and I interact, and I love this dog. This dog is like everything. I'm sad because I'm thinking that one day she's not going to be.
That dog, by the way, because she was in my room when I was packing, and I'm just saying, she was all snuggled up to me, and oh, what a cute little thing. Oh.
She's an amazing dog, and she, I'm starting to pass some of the alpha authority over to my son and helping him run her to the trash can off leash, and she's just an amazing command dog. She listens, she's kind, she jumps and she gets on high and she nibbles and bites, but she is an amazing dog. And I saw this video. I'm gonna get emotional. I can't believe this. I saw this video and I just started bawling. And because I know I'm not that old, but this floored me, man. Just watch this. It's just beautiful. And it's not because I was sad. It made me sad. It made me think about my dog, who I get it now. And I want to thank Ash and my wife, because when you're overseas and you lose a team dog, or they lose a limb, or you see them that they're shell shocked or they have PTS, it's hard. And so I compartmentalized that a lot and just kind of stayed away from it, because I had a chance to work with a lot of those dogs and see them train and see them come into a unit. And it was amazing. And it was one of my favorite things about Little Creek was that, and to be able to see it. And so I kind of just was like, I don't like dogs. I don't like the way they smell. I don't like the way what they do it. And I stayed away from them. So to allow myself to heal, it took a hole inside of me and just filled it with something, love. So I am so happy that I had a chance to do this, and I wanted to share this video with you. So here it is. It's just a really cool moment. Who's filming? It's not a Ring camera. Somebody decided to film it. Here it is.
Oh. Yes.
Ugh. And I can tell you that is just pure love, respect, and admiration. Because if he fell, this dog would find a way to drag him to safety, or call 911, or go get somebody, or what is it, Timmy? Did Bobby fall in a well? Something would happen. This is just, I don't know. Leroy, your reaction. You've worked with dogs, service dogs. You've got feelings.
Absolutely. And this is one of those cases where, first of all, German Shepherds are known to have hip issues as they get older. So rather than pick the poor thing up, which he is obviously in an advanced age himself, he's just saying, look, I'm going to we're going to accommodate as best we can this family friend, right? That's what they are. They're family. And that is just so sweet. And look at that dog, just so happy. Like, I know that I'm being taken care of as I get older, and in return, I'm just going to continue to love on my humans and make sure that they give me treats. Good on him. I love dogs. One of the first things for anyone who's watching the show right now, one of the first things that I did when we first came on the show,
I remember.
I had the fortunate experience to sit down and talk with a guy named Jimmy Hatch. And Jimmy was a former SEAL team member who started a charitable organization called Spike's Canine Funds. And part of any donations that go to them are there to give service dogs, military dogs, surgeries, or buy them bulletproof vests or goggles, things of that nature. And it was just one of those things where while he was talking about this, you could see the absolute love in his eyes and care for these animals. And there's a bond there that I don't think anybody, if you have a dog, you know what I'm talking about. That bond is just there, and you're not going to shake it.
I'm so happy that we got her, and she's perfect. She's a perfect fit, and she gets along with my cat. She doesn't do the things that I can't stand, like that are that are deal breakers for me. And I remember that episode. I remember that episode so well, and I just think it's awesome. So I guess my point of this is that love does not have to be temporary. And if you don't have a spot to put your love, it's being wasted.
Yeah.
And there are cats, there are dogs, there are goldfish, ferret, lizards, whatever you want. There's animals out there that are waiting for love. And there's a lot of service animals out there who are desperate for your love and attention. And if you haven't made a connection with Hatch's Foundation or Paws or any of the other types, get to know them, look up the 501c3s, and go take one of these service dogs. I promise you will not be sad about it. Bobby, thank you so much. You're amazing.
Bobby, you are round 2, LOL.
This woman, she always makes it happen. But go get a puppy.
Yes.
Take care of that puppy. Folks, want to thank you for hitting goal. This is what you guys do. We love you for it. Tomorrow night, we have got our good friend who did our photo session, Barry Morgenstein, is going to be coming on. This guy has shot some of the biggest rock and roll stars: Hendrix, Mick Jagger, David Bowie, Whitney Houston, presidents. He has photographed Clinton, Obama, Netanyahu, Pope, kings, royalty. This guy's done celebrities from Denzel Washington to Barbara Streisand to Tonto, Frank Oz, Chief Gallagher, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, Jesse Waters, Sean Hannity. I mean, this guy's done everybody. He's done the Don't Unfriend Me show. And he's going to get to tell us these stories tomorrow and be with us live and talk about a few videos. And then I'm going to do a recorded session with him next week, which is going to be great. It's going to be a 2 or 3 parter. And we just can't wait for you to be here. So please come on by. But remember this, we are working on our fundraising show. We're going to wait until after April 15th for taxes because we think that's the right way to do it. And our good friend Chuck Pedersen is going to match up to $10,000 in donations. And we're going to schedule this show, and we're going to do it right. We're going to have a good show, and we're going to raise as much as we can. So tonight, I loved how we showed up. Leroy, thank you. Go ahead. I'm going to give it to you for your 1 minute.
Real quick, Bobby had a question, wanted to know if that organization was still around. It is. So when you go to spikescaninefund.org, there is a website there. And one of the partners for Spike's Canine Funds is a place out of Cincinnati, Ohio, called Bulletproof Dog Training. Oddly enough, they are both from the teams and both really, really good guys. Yeah, thank you. That's all I had. Great show, by the way. This is amazing. This is one of the it's going to be one of my favorites. I can tell for a good long time. So
yeah. Barry does a lot of promo videos for us. Yep, he is officially a friend of the show. Him and I text each other every day. He's always talking to us, and he's just a good dude, and he's so kind. He's honestly become a dear friend to us, and I'm excited for him to be on. And go gentle and ask your questions, and we can't wait to have him here. He's a really cool dude, so we think you'll enjoy him. And I think we're going to start doing Friday nights to have guests, and I think it'll be fun. And we're going to try this one, see how it goes, and then every Friday we'll have a guest on, and I'm going to make it a surprise. And I think what I'll do is on the avatar, I'll put 3 things, clues as who it is, and see if you guys can guess who it is, and then have them on the show. I think that'll be fun, a little exciting, and we'll see what we can do. So God bless everybody. Have a great night. Thank you for having us hit goal. If you haven't had a chance, go over to thedumbshow.com. Please like this. We're at 125 likes on this. We should have some more than that. So just spam like on that for us, and make sure you go to whatever channel you're on, Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Wimkin, and hit the like button. That helps. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock with Barry Morgenstein. Bobby, thank you. For everybody, thank you. Paul, thank you. And have a blessed evening. Leroy, love you, buddy. Thank you.
Love you guys. Everyone take care. Have a great night.
See you tomorrow.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.